certain countries apply this as an educational method, because I read somewhere where the countries that had the world memory champion were either from Asia, India, some of those places. So before we go to the course, is this curriculum in some places that you're aware of, or no, to teach this concept to kids?
Not formally, and it is my biggest sadness, I guess I could say, of my 28 years of doing this. My 28 years of doing this, I can go to a school and I can go into, I've spoken in.
This is like crazy, because what if teachers learn this concept? Right. Forget about, like, imagine if I'm running a private school, my teachers are required to learn this concept, and they spend a week with you to learn how to take the curriculum we're teaching and then using this method of teaching so it sticks with the kids. How much more of an impact can be made, because this ability is going to help people in their careers.
Right.
So you're not aware that any school is teaching this concept, like part of curriculum?
Not to my knowledge, and I have tried, and it's my biggest frustration. And here's the objection that schools will often give me, and it's because they don't understand the process. They will say, I don't want my teachers or my students just regurgitating information. I want them to understand it, and that's a valid objection. But it's an objection because you don't fully understand the role of memory training. In other words, the schools are saying we don't want our kids memorizing it. We want them knowing it, understanding it. Fair enough. I agree. But what I'll say to you is this: memory training doesn't take you from being a novice to being an expert. But what it does do is take you from being a novice to right here, just almost to an expert, and it accelerates the learning process. It speeds up how much time. You still got to put it all together in your brain. You still got to understand it. So that's the biggest obstacle I have. But I've given this speech in 55 countries. And every time I go to some of those, and some of them are underprivileged countries and third world countries, and I always think to myself, man, if I could just get this in the school system here, this would make such a big difference. It's a hurdle for me.
Well, why do countries in India and Asia do so well at it, though? Is there a reason for it? Have you investigated that? Have you done some due diligence? Or is there a reason for it?
My YouTube following is, I would say, 30% in India, and I don't know why. But is it because it's in the culture?
Have you ever advertised your YouTube channel, or no?
No.
So this is all organic, that 30% is from India?
Oh, yes. I'm not targeting it. It's grown that way.
Unbelievable.
But it shows a hunger, I guess you could say, for education. I heard somebody recently say the heavyweight boxer that he just got defeated. I heard somebody say, it's hard to get motivated when you're sleeping on silk sheets, and maybe, when you're in a country that's up and coming and you're not sleeping on silk sheets, maybe you're a little more motivated to learn and educate. I don't know. I'm just taking some stabs here, but I don't know. But there is a natural affinity, you're right, for learning and memory in some of those countries.